one of the most iconic cars of our time. You have seen a Tesla before. If you are a human on this planet, you have definitely seen a Tesla. They are the car company that has, popularized the EV, built up a charging network so good that other car companies started using it, right? Built up a way to make EVs charge faster, solved several of the issues with the EVs, and has one of the most great marketing campaigns, not on TV, but, digitally and on social media, that we as a humankind have ever seen. Now, you might want to buy one of these. Now, if you listen to the internet, they'll tell you, oh, EVs are terrible and they're awful. But, and you may think that that's what keeps most people from not owning EVs, right? They like the sound of the gasoline engine, right? But the big reason why people don't buy EVs is the cost. Now, the cost has gone down. I will admit, the cost has gone down. But if you're looking to buy yourself one of these vehicles, I'm going to tell you how to tell if it's right for you, how to find a cheap one, and we're going to talk about a couple of the talking points of buying a used Tesla. Now, this is about Teslas, not EVs in general. I've made more EV-centric videos, especially 2 months ago. I got really into EVs there. So watch those if you just want to buy an EV in general and not a Tesla. So, from there, let's move on. Now, Tesla Model Y, it starts at $44,000, or at least it used to. Now it starts at $31,000, which is pretty decently affordable, until you realize that this is rear-wheel drive. I live in Oregon, I need all-wheel drive. It is not a want, but a necessity. Either that, or I'm going to have to put some chains on these wheels, right? And also, you pick out a color that you like, $2,000 extra. Unless you get gray, or actually all you can get is gray, then you're gonna be paying some money, right? Even white is $1,000. So once you pick out a color that you like, we're already up to $36,000. And then, you look at the wheels, you pick the obviously better Gemini wheels, and you also want a tow hitch, because, well, you use your vehicles. And then, just like that, $37,000. You also want a nice suede black, nice interior, and you need a 7-seat configuration. $38,000. And forget it if you want full self-driving. Now you also need to charge it, so that's another $425. You also probably want a mobile charger so you can charge it even when you're not at your house and there's not a charger available. All this will bring your cost up to $53,000. Or $46,130 if the tax credit is applicable. That's a lot of money. And it's not just for the Model Y. For the Model Y, yeah. It's also for the Model 3. If you want an all-wheel drive car, you're still going to be paying very, very, very similar price to what you would be paying if you wanted the Model Y. This just has less seats, so it's slightly cheaper. Yay, woohoo. So, yeah, they're expensive. But then you see something intriguing, a used 2017 or 2018 Tesla Model Y. Now, Teslas, sure, we can bicker. We can whine about how their interior is so annoying and so monochrome and so ugly, but they are arguably nice cars, right? It's got all the features you want, it's got heated seats, it's got a big fancy screen, it's got a piano black snazzy interior, it's got everything you want. And yet, it only costs $23,000, and this is considered expensive. And the EV battery rating is excellent. But let's talk about the EV battery, because much like buying a used hybrid vehicle, the thing that's really the issue with buying it, because they're so amazingly cheap, is the battery. Now, if you own a hybrid, they're easy to replace, about $1,000 for a replacement, not a huge, gigantic, big stinking deal, right? But for a Tesla battery replacement, you're paying almost the value of the car. So, we already know that battery replacements are not applicable. You cannot replace the battery. You can, but you most likely, if you're looking to buy a cheaper Tesla and you can't just afford to buy one right off the lot, probably not going to be able to afford that, right? No offense. Also, before, we get into things and make sure that this is an actual deal, how long do Tesla batteries last? Between 300 and 500,000 miles. Now remember, batteries, they're not like bread. They don't just instantly go bad. It is a long saga of less and less and less and less range as the seasons go by and the miles start to pile up. Now, this is also about 1,500 charge cycles, if you're interested in that. It translates to a battery life of 22 to 37 years for the average driver who drives at 13,000 miles per year. Now, be skeptical. If there's one thing you should learn in life, especially by now, is be skeptical. A lot of these numbers are very unrealistic. This isn't a perfect world. We do not live in a perfect world. Being in the winter, the battery being less efficient, being in the summer, seasons, cycles, your use of the vehicle, maybe you hit a speed bump, anything that so much as touches the vehicle will adjust this number for you. Maybe not in always a bad way, or a neutral way, usually, but this is not granite, this is not concrete. It will absolutely last between 300,000. Lemons do exist, right? But are they expensive? Is this just the exception? Because that's what I hear a lot of people say. Oh, well, that car's cheap, but is this just the exception? And I'm here to tell you, no. A lot of times, these are really cheap. So you've already established that the battery, which is usually the problem in most vehicles, will not be an issue here, right? They're luxurious. And if you want one, I would get one. Now, I wouldn't get a Model X because they're too big and they're useless for being a family hauler, considering you can just get a Highlander or something for much, much cheaper. I don't mean, I mean a brand new Highlander for used Model X prices. And the Model S is way, way, way too expensive, right? So I would really suggest between the Model Y and the Model 3, it really determines. Do you need 7 seats? That's pretty much it between the two cars. Both cars are very similar. One car has more room in the back if you really think you need it, but I highly doubt you ever will, as, the Model 3 will carry your Mark's grocery bags just fine, right? So yes, these are cheap. The batteries last a decent amount of time, but there's one last issue. Now, if you have Teslas around you, this is a big thing that, for some reason, a lot of people don't look out for. Are there Teslas in your neighborhood? Have you seen a Tesla? This is important, because if you've just seen them on social media, there's something wrong with that. Now, whenever you see smoke, there's a fire. Whenever you see steam, there is boiling water. And whenever you see a Tesla, there is a charger. Hopefully. So make sure, before you buy a Tesla, that you absolutely look at the supercharger network in your area. I live in Salem, Oregon, which means, I can drive to Portland, but other than that, no, other than that, there's actually nothing. So I either charge it at my house or bring a big battery. Like those phones where you keep an extra one, right? Extra battery with you to pop in. Yeah, so me personally, I could not buy a Tesla. I just couldn't. There is not enough superchargers where I drive. This is usually where I'm driving, usually, because I just kind of live over here. That's where all my family is, right? So I don't care if there are a million superchargers in Portland. I don't need that many superchargers. No one does, So if you live in Portland, buy one. If you live anywhere else, I just wouldn't. Also, there are special deals, like Hertz. Hertz is, how do I put this? They're not doing too well. So right now, they're selling off a lot of their Teslas from their fleets, and a lot of people have been buying them up for around $19,000. Very, very cheap. They're all very, very cheap cars. So yeah, if one of these is in your area, just pick it up. Cheap, they've usually maintained it. But one thing you do have to be careful of is the mileage. Although that's what a lot of people are afraid of. They're going to find a high mileage one and it's going to crap out. I assure you, there is not a car, a Tesla, from what I've seen, that has so many miles on it that you should have serious issues. For me, wouldn't go over 100,000. But still, the battery warranty... Let's read the warranty again. 8-year, 100,000 to 150,000 mile battery warranty, whichever comes first. Minimum retention rate of 70%. Okay, so 100,000. I just wouldn't go under that. So, yay, I guess. So yeah, if you're looking to buy a used Tesla, the battery shouldn't be an issue because they last a decently long time. And also, don't just buy a Tesla. Don't just say, I'm going to buy a Tesla. Make sure there are superchargers in your network and make sure that there is a battery in the car that will be able to make it out of your driveway. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel that is fantastic at making mediocre content.